Chapter 2 talks about the reality of innovation, and over 90% of innovations every year fail. And that has everything to do with attraction first mindset. If you've ever watched a movie called Field of Dreams, you know exactly what I mean. And so this guy goes out and builds this baseball diamond because he hears voices in his head, and I feel like we hear voices in our heads to go build something. He goes to build it, and miraculously out of the middle of nowhere, there's this huge field that emerges, a lot of people join, and it's this great hoorah moment. But when we try and apply that same practice of building something and expecting people to come just out of the middle of nowhere, that almost never works. And so that's because oftentimes we build that in a vacuum. We just build and build and build. And the reality is we want to invest a ton of time, a ton of money, and we spend 2, 3, 4, even 6 months to a year building all of this new stuff and this new venture that we're excited about. But oftentimes at the end of 6 months, at the end of 12 months, that's when we unveil it to customer one. And that's why I always say the first impact with customers, a product in a venture never survives that first impact. So it's really important to get to users first. And that's the importance of market testing. So the blind spot of overinvesting before market traction is really going out to just build something right away. And we want to avoid that at all costs. So chapter 2 talks about how can you avoid that at all costs. And the question I'll ask you as the listener is, where are you on your journey? Have you created something and now you're kind of reevaluating, what am I supposed to do? I don't have market traction. And that's really who that book is designed for, is someone that might not have market traction. It's also designed for those that are listening that haven't yet built something. So if you haven't yet built something and you're thinking about building something, the practices in this book will save you months and months, years of heartache of that I had to learn the hard way, of understanding the importance of focusing on market traction first, getting user feedback immediately. So having that traction first mindset. The traction first mindset always will trump the builder mindset. So going out and building something never yields what you anticipate, what the market wants, until you get it to the market. And so that's why we employ tactics like sell first, build later. That's a huge tactic we employ, where you're going out and you're selling something that, yes, it might not exist, but you're pre-selling it before you actually go build it. And that way you can actually garner interest, get feedback from people. Even if you were to take and create some screenshots and create a deck and you were able to share that with someone, that's where you get those pivotal moments of understanding from your market, those unlocks of, will people take their wallets out and pay for what you're building? And if you can front load that risk rather than at the end of 6 months, at the end of 12 months, asking for money to pay, and you can front load that towards the beginning, you're going to be a lot better off in understanding what does your market want. And so that's what the traction first mindset is all about, is how do we reduce risk and how do we get traction a lot faster? How do you get your first 10 customers, your first 100 paying customers, even before you've actually built or developed one line of code? So I hope you'll join me in the next chapter. We talk about the innovation graveyard. There's a lot of startups and ventures that have failed at employing a traction first mindset.